There's been an increasing number of American citizens wanting to move to France in 2025-2026. And in this series of videos, I'm going to be sharing with you the most known tips for Americans wanting to move to France in 2025-2026. And I'm going to be keeping in mind those people wanting to generate a regular income or top-up income once they move to France. I've divided this series into 4 short videos. The first one today, we're going to be talking about your vision, brainstorming your project. The second video is about choosing the best visa for France. The third video is about planning a scouting trip to France. And the fourth video will be working on your project and visa application. In today's video, we're going to be working on your vision, brainstorming your project, and I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips. For those who don't know me, I'm Valerie. I start business in France and help expatriates prepare, create, and manage their first business in France. My first tip is on defining your vision. What is your vision for your future life in France? If you could visualize yourself in 1 to 3 years' time, what would your daily life look like? What would you do? What would be your hobbies? Which kind of relationships would you have? And I have 2 fun exercises for you to do on this particular topic. The first one is I want you to create a vision board, whether it's digital on Canva, whether it's with AI, or whether it's on paper. You choose the format for you. I actually love to take a big pile of magazines and cut some pictures to make a montage. What you're going to do is put some music on and a timer for 40 minutes and you start cutting those pictures in your favorite magazines of pictures inspiring you and that actually align with what you want to be doing in France. The second step is to put another timer and you're going to be doing your montage quite quickly in 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes. You're going to be putting those pictures on a big piece of paper. And the last timer is for 15 minutes where you're going to actually be writing a letter of what this vision inspires you, the feelings that you have. So when you want to reconnect with your motivation for this move to France, you've got the picture and you also have the words of the energy that was generated for this exercise. The plus of this particular exercise is that actually you can have this picture framed or have it printed and framed and hang it somewhere in your house where you're going to be seeing it every day so you can connect with this future life in France. One of my customers this week, we were having a call, I could see his vision board in his office and I know they told me before they actually had it on the hallway, so whenever he was going out of his house, he had the vision of his future life in France. Now for this second exercise on your vision, I want you to imagine that you're going back home to the US for a short vacation after spending 1 year in France. You're out and about buying some items that you can't find in France and you actually bumped into a friend or a former colleague. And this colleague asks you, how was France? And the first thing that comes up to your mind and that you say is actually, I've had the best year ever. Now, that's an amazing answer. What would have need to happen for you to say this so naturally? It's a great way to identify what is actually important to you and what a successful move to France would look like. For a family or couple, this is a nice exercise to do on your own and then share together over a French meal, cheese, wine and pop for kids, and then creating a joint vision for your family once you move to France. My second tip is to give yourself 6 to 12 months to move to France. I know that things are changing quickly in the US and that many of you want to move quickly. However, this takes time. You have to sort out your stuff at home. What do you do with your home, your belongings, your car? You have to start planning on how to take care for your loved ones once you will be in a different country. And you also have to start researching your project and your visa application. All of this takes some time. And a move within 6 months is more likely to happen if you have an easy project or if you've already been to France. So for instance, you might know the area where you want to move. You've got 2 or 3 towns in mind. You've done some research already on the property to buy or rent, or you already own a property in France, or you got a clear idea of the type of business that you want to set up, or you might already have some potential customers. For those of you in this position, then a move within 4 to 6 months would be feasible. My third tip is to prepare your finances for France. I know that nobody enjoys creating a budget, an Excel sheet or a Google sheet, but take some time to look at your finances and ask yourself, what is my budget to buy a property in France? What is my budget for the renovation and the restoration of this property, knowing that cost might be cheaper to buy the house in France, but more expensive for the restoration? Are my finances ready to make an offer on a property if I find one? How much do I need to live in France on a monthly or yearly basis? And you can use your own budget in the US, but knowing that the cost of living is much cheaper in France. Will you have a regular income once you're in France? A salary, a pension, rent, dividends? And will you need to earn a top-up income? If so, how much top-up income would you need per month? If you do need this top-up income, where could it come from? Will it come from a salary? This is going to be pretty rare. Would it be from a holiday rental, for your new property, or maybe from being self-employed? How would this impact your visa application? Will you still remain as inactive, or will you actually need to go for a business visa? And we will cover this particular topic in the fourth video of this short series. Now you can hear the French bells. This is your reminder, soon you'll be in France. Now be careful of what we call a passive income. Whether you're talking about an online business or a YouTube channel with maybe some sponsorships or some consultation, this isn't seen as passive income. It would actually need to be declared in France, and this would be declared via a business. It would be a business income, hence needing a business visa like Visa Profession Libérale or Visa Talent. My fourth tip is to research your income generating project. If you know that you need to generate a regular income in France or a top-up income, what could it be? Brainstorm some ideas based on your experience, your passion, or new skills that you've learned or you just got qualified for. How much time would you want to spend on generating this income? How much income would it need to generate? Would you need to take some extra training before you move so you can be efficient from the start? And is this activity regulated in France? You might want to take my 5 days to freelance in French challenge. I will add the link below the video where I'm sharing with you over 5 days 5 short videos and exercises for you to do so that you can start brainstorming on some ideas and decide whether freelancing or top-up income is for you, or whether you just want to remain as inactive when you come to France. And within my 5-day challenge, you will also get my 100 business ideas to create a business in France and a list of activities which are regulated in France. Now, the fifth tip is to choose the right visa. We will cover this topic in details in the fourth video of this series, but for now, based on the vision and the brainstorming that you've done so far with this video, what is the impact on your visa application? Are you still coming with a long stay visitor visa, i.e. you don't need to generate an income, or it would be more like a non-professional income, like a non-professional gîte and Airbnb, meaning no retreats, no meals, no activities? Or are you actually looking at a business visa, such as Visa Profession Libérale, issued for 1 year, renewable from France, or a Visa Talent, issued for 1 to 4 years, renewable from France, but needing an investment of 30,000 euros and a master's degrees? Or are you maybe looking at an artistic visa, or maybe coming as an employee and going for an employee visa? The clue here is that you would need a sponsor, a work contract for the company to help you come to France. So be careful, as many activities that we've seen that sometimes we talk about passive income aren't actually passive, it's a business. And also many artistic activities such as jewelry making, ceramics, commercial photographer are seen as businesses in France rather than an artist. So that has an impact on which visa you go for. In this first video of the most known tips for Americans wanting to move to France in 2025-2026, we looked at your vision and starting to brainstorm some ideas. If you want more tips on brainstorming, I'm inviting you to look at my 5 days to freelance in France challenge so you can work on some business ideas. And I'm also suggesting that you take some time in your agenda to actually do these exercises, brainstorm some more, or maybe you plan to do this for your next dog walk or for your next run so that you can start thinking about what your vision looks like. Now, in this next video, we're going to be looking into how to choose the best visa for your move to France.